So I thought I don't know why I thought, but I always felt like every um school that I go to is has people who just want to be there, but who just want to be there to get paid. Because I feel like a lot of people nowadays who are early education teachers um are just there because they think, oh, it's just working with kids. It's kids who can barely even talk. Kids who, especially when you're an infant teacher, they're just kids who can barely even talk. You just need to watch if they hurt themselves, and that's it. But no, there's a lot that goes into it, and I feel like now it's just it's the people who put them. It's at this point I feel like the EEC, Department of Early Education in Massachusetts, there's only what during the pandemic there was only like two people that my mom said, because she works there, but she doesn't certify people. She's a fiscal monitor, so she doesn't know anything about education. So there are only two people who certify everyone in the whole entire state. So, and I'm just like, what? Cause, and I found out that like when it first came, 'cause the EC people, um, gave centers, um, the right to certify more people, cause there's a shortage, and I understood it during the lockdown, but now it's just getting a little out of hand because they're still doing it. And now I think my mom just said that the EEC, they added like, I don't know, two more people. So now there are four people who can certify the whole entire state. And it's like a lot of these people, because like one of the people at my job just got certified. My assistant teacher, I finally got an assistant teacher for my classroom. She just got certified. She's been working there for I don't know how many months. Um and she doesn't really do anything. She basically just washes and cleans. And I have to tell her, it is just a lot of the people at that job don't have understanding, who've even worked there longer than I have. They don't really have the understanding of basic sanitation skills, how you should interact with a child. Because I've had to tell several of the um, the substitute teachers who they're technically just floaters, but the substitute teachers that to how to handle a child, because that's physical, like how to physically handle a child. And it's just like, because like I don't know if I told the story, but I had one kid who was like who he wasn't huge, but he was bigger than a lot of the children in that class, in the class, actually in the center. So usually they would pull him by his one hand, and he's a big kid, so he stands his ground. He doesn't want to move, and so they just keep tugging at it, and I'm just like, stop! You cannot pull him like that, because his he may get a dislocated shoulder. Because usually the other ones are and small and thin. So well, some are tall and thin, but or small and thin. But he was a little bit he was a little bit heavier. So usually that's the small and thin ones, or the tall and thin ones. You just pull their arm, and then they know that their body should move with you. He is hard headed. He he wants to do what he wants to do. So it's like if you tell him to go do something, he's not gonna move with you. He's gonna be like, why? Why should I do this? So you have to explain to him. So you can't. I have to tell them. It. um and I don't even expect them to like to know my children because they're technically floaters, but I expect them to understand that he's a little different. Like physically you can see he's a little bit different than the kid, so he's not going to move easily. So, and I obviously, when I first met him, I obviously knew he was big. I'm gonna have a hard time picking him up like the other kids. I have to get under him. I have to get under his armpits, and I have to make a fist at also when I'm doing it. I have to get under both of his armpits, have a fit, and hoist him up to get him to move. Sometimes I don't do that all the time, obviously, because he's big. But like when he really needs to, when he just sometimes he just is just really hard headed, so we'll just start crying, and he just won't move. So then that's when like usually he does that when I first met him he did that, but then I told him you're not doing that with me, and so sometimes he did it towards the end of his time there, but usually if he did it he would do it inside the classroom, and so I would just ignore him, and then he would stop because he didn't want to be ignored. But if we were outside and we had to go inside, I couldn't I'm not like obviously I'm not going to leave him outside, so I have to pick him up when but he doesn't want to move, so I have to get underneath him, use my legs to hoist him up, and then take him inside. But obviously these floaters, substitute teachers, whatever they want to call them substitute, they're technically floaters. So basically what I'm saying is that I feel like at this point, and I don't know if this is in other states, I feel like our department of our early education just needs warm bodies at this point. If you are over 18, if you are not a sex offender, if if you are not a sex offender, if you um, are alive and you can lift stuff, and you're not disabled, physically disabled, then you are set. You it's fine. And now that they gave the centers and in schools the right to certify you, now it's just whoever. And it's sometimes, and at this point, like, since they gave the centers the right to certify, they should the centers should also give at least some training to everyone. Like, the thing that I liked about Bright Horizons was that we had to go through mandatory Bright Horizons training, and we would have to go over it every year just as a refresher course. Now, where I'm working, I don't know if, since this is different, that since it's not, since technically it's kind of connected to Boston Public Schools, that it's not the same. Obviously, I don't know. This is why I'm not a director. Um, so I will just like, because we started having a meeting every like two times a month, and it's just like we don't really talk about anything. We just talk about like what's gonna happen in the future. But it's just like I would like to go. We do go over the pyramid model, but that's once a year, and we don't talk about anything else. And we basically don't talk about anything else. So I would I would like to have more of more I would like to have more of an understanding of like basic sanitation. Basic sanitation when you're in a school, especially when you're with early education. Like, um, yeah, it's just it's really sad when your assistant teacher wants to stay with you after the class ends because one of the kids parents aren't there yet. For you want to stay for the extra money, but then when I need you to help me, because right now we're getting new classroom, everyone's getting a new classroom, and I'm also have to move to the other classroom that's next to me because they have to move into my bigger classroom because the other classroom's getting more children than me, and well, they have more children than me, so now they have to move. Yeah, so um I'm getting more so and then when I need help moving stuff into the other classroom, once the last kid leaves, they're gone. And I'm just like, "What? So you want the extra money but you don't want the work." Yeah, this is what I'm saying. At this point, you and I'm not saying work until like after hours, but I'm saying just put like because when I needed help to put more stuff into boxes so I could move the stuff to the other classroom, um the last kid left like I don't know 10 minutes early, so before everything closed, she she left. So I was there all by myself cleaning it up with 10 minutes left, and I was just like, oh, I could have got this done so much if I told her to stay. If 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 I told her to stay, if she knew she needed to do that, she should have done it, but she didn't want to because like it's technically my classroom, so and she's only assistant teacher, but it's like but it's my fault, I guess, because she's technically under me. The assistant teacher is supposed to talk to me, so she's technically under me. So, but yeah, it's just hard because I don't want to have to train these. It it makes it hard for me because I don't want to have to train these kids. I mean, I don't want to have to train these these certified um these certified well, I shouldn't say air quotes because I technically are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the process. I was certified before all of this happened, so I don't know the process of how they did this. So I don't want to have to train these people on basic sanitation. I have to go out of my way when I'm helping these kids to help the adults learn how to take care of children, learn how to just like, or like during nap time, they're talking like crazy, and it's just like, it's right now it's nap time, and when they hear you talking, they're gonna think, oh, it's okay for me to talk too. No, it's not okay for you to talk. And another thing is, they think it's okay to do something while, and it's just like, no, you're teaching these kids that it's okay to do this. And it's like to get off their cot during nap time. It's like, even if you don't want to sleep, you have to stay on your cot. They're teaching the kids, oh, well, I'm still gonna, well, I can still go. I want to be with her, so I'm gonna go over there with her. And it's just like, no, can you just tell? And it's just like I can't tell all these people to do stuff, and they don't even listen to me. It's like I'm gonna say it. I didn't want to say it, but I think part of it is because I'm black. I hate I don't want to bring my race into this in the Chinese thing, but it's just like they Chinese people just don't some Chinese people just don't like you because you're not Chinese and you don't speak their language, and so I'm the odd one out. So it is what it is, but it's just like I'm the boss of you guys. I'm technically I'm supervising all of you technically. Well, technically not supervising, but you're in my classroom, so you have to do what I say. But it's just like I can't and especially when I go on break, like all hell breaks loose in my classroom if I go on break. So, yeah. It's a lot, it's stressful, and we don't get the ones who actually care do not get paid enough, and it's sad. So that's just my frustrations. But I still love doing this. And people are gonna be, and my dad do not understand why do you keep doing this? Even, and I'm just like, but I love my kids. It's like, well, you still need to, it's like, I know I still need to, I need to pay bills and stuff, but it's just, it's hard because like it's like, it's not something, it should be black and white. They're like, oh, I'm not getting paid enough, then I should leave. But it's, when you're emotionally invested in something, it's hard. It's hard to leave. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. Bye.